What's up, Top 10 fam? Hope you're having an awesome day. I'm your host Ayman Hassan and welcome back to another video. Now, people think space is a scary place because we don't know everything about it yet and it's so vast and blah 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 and one step for man, one giant leap for mankind. We get it. We get it. Now, I don't find unknown things scary. I feel like it's exciting, it's potential, it's me. No, I'm kidding. Now that I've gone on about how unscary space is, plot twist, these are the top 10 scary things that actually happen in space. And before I get into this video, I know my earrings are a lot and I know half of you are gonna be like, I hate them. The other half are gonna be like, I love them. But they're Pakistani. My mum got them for me. And if you insult me, I will come for you. Thank you. Starting us off with number 10 is the dark flow. Now, this wasn't in the past because it's technically very much still happening and it is borderline terrifying. Now, I don't want to alarm anyone, but something bigger than anything we know of is sucking portions of the Milky Way galaxy just away. Sucking it away. Milky Way, us, we are getting sucked away. We're just gone. Just wanted to emphasize that. Now, in 2009, researchers discovered a cluster of galaxies that were moving at unparalleled speeds towards a patch of sky between the constellations Vela and Centaurus. There's just no reason for galaxies to be moving at that speed unless they're experiencing a huge pull from something beyond us. This process was dubbed dark flow, and scientists speculate that there are megastructures beyond our horizon that could be what's pulling them. Now, others even say the megastructures are parallel universes. And surely you guys know what my next question from here is. Now, if the Milky Way is getting sucked into the ether, how long till that reaches Earth? How much time does my ass have to planet hop? We need to do that ASAP, Rocky. Bye! And coming in at number 9 is the alien music, which unfortunately cannot be found on Spotify or Apple Music, so you guys just don't even bother trying to find it, you know? Just don't bother. Now, back in 1969, 4 days after we stepped foot on the moon for the first time, astronauts John Young, Tom Stafford, and Gene Cernan were on the far dark side of the moon, and as Mufasa said to Simba, we don't go there. Now, the three men were just chilling on the moon, taking some pictures of the craters, and drinking some grape juice when they started hearing a strange otherworldly sort of noise inside their headsets. Now, the music continued for a good hour and none of the men had heard these types of sounds before and they knew no one would believe them if they said anything. They tried to find out where or what the music was, but they just simply couldn't. Decades later, the mystery was never solved, but some claim it was just sound coming from radio interference between spacecrafts, which I get, but how would 3 seasoned astronauts not know what that sounded like? Like, they probably would have heard that a billion times, so I mean, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Sus. At number 8 we have space snakes. Now, if you thought you were smart, let me just put you in your place real quick. You may as well just sit down right now. So this one comes from Dr. Story Musgrave, a man who has 6 academic degrees, was part of the Marine Corps, is a physician and mathematician, and he's a bloody NASA astronaut as well. And oh, he shares the record of most space flights ever taken. So I mean, this man has literally lived 9 lives in one and like saved some for the rest of us. Like, I'm just trying to get by at this point. Either way, Story said on 2 of his missions he saw something out there that he doesn't have an answer to. He saw a snake sort of thing and it was about 6 to 8 feet long, it was rubbery and it had internal waves inside of it. And it sort of just follows you for an extended period of time. He claims that being in space makes you see things you'd never imagine. Well, no shit. I didn't have to have 6 degrees to say that, and that he believes there are creatures out there much more developed than any of us. I mean, they've been there for 100 million years, I'd hope they're advanced as hell. I'd be disappointed if they weren't. Now, honestly, my theory on the snake is that they're alien devices that just roam space and can detect spacecrafts in the area and sort of tail them and send information back to the alien HQ that deployed it. And I feel like that's a bang-on theory. Like, go me. Yeah. Filling our number 7 slot is the near miss. So back in July of 2012, life as we know it was this close to being changed forever. This is how small my patience is when it comes to Che as well, just letting you know. Now, the Earth narrowly, like barely by the skin of our teeth, missed the impact of an extreme solar storm, and not just any storm, the most powerful one we'd seen in 150 years. If it had hit Earth, we would have still been picking up the pieces right now. If you don't know what a solar storm is, another name for it is a geomagnetic storm, and it's basically when the Earth's magnetosphere experiences a temporary disturbance due to either a solar wind shockwave and or a cloud of magnetic fields. Now, solar storms threaten every form of high technology that we have. It starts off with an explosion that expends tons of X-rays and extreme UV radiation to Earth at light speed, cause screw us, right? If we had been hit by the storm, there would have been radio blackouts, satellites would have been blasted with energy and been damaged, GPS navigation just wouldn't work, work and the world would have no power whatsoever. I mean, we missed it that time, but who knows if we'll be as lucky the next time. I frankly will be on Mars at that point, so I don't really give a even savage moments. Now at number 6 is the Cooper sighting. So Gordon Cooper is an astronaut that's flown the Gemini 5 and the Mercury 9. He was also the last American to ever spend time in space alone. Now in May of 1963, he was doing a circumnavigational trip around the Earth on the Mercury capsule, and when he was passing Perth, he saw something. A massive green glowing object came straight for him at a speed he'd never seen before. It was real, it wasn't just a delusion, and the Muchie tracking station in Western Australia even picked it up on their radar, so it was very much there. Cooper reported it to NBC, but when he landed was told they couldn't question him about it. So that's just another thing they won't tell us. I feel like we should honestly just start rioting until governments all over the world stop keeping from us. I'm over it. Just tell us things. Hello. Expose the government, 2K19. Coming in at number 5 are sweat and urine. And that's it, that's all you need to know. On to number 4. No, I'm just kidding, can you imagine? And that's it. Okay, jokes aside, space missions are long. You're in orbit for a very long time, and there's only a limited amount of space on board for resources, and that includes important resources like water. International Space Station crew members actually recycle water whenever possible, meaning drinking their own urine and sweat. It takes the systems on board 8 full days to process water, and so desperate times call for desperate measures. Scott Kelly, an astronaut at NASA, said he drank about 730 liters of recycled urine and sweat during his year-long mission. Like, I hope they at least get filtered and they're not just straight up drinking piss and sweat. This is so like Bear Grylls. That man will take any excuse to be like, better drink my own piss. I really hope you guys know who Bear Grylls is, otherwise like you just will not understand how funny that joke was. At number 4 now is the cigar. A bit of background so you really know how credible this is. Musa Manarov was a Soviet-Azerbaijani astronaut who holds the record for longest continuous time in space, 541 days. So he's had a lot of experience being in the dark abyss and seeing everything. One day in 1991, he was on his way to the Mir space station when something caught his eye. On camera, he caught 2 minutes worth of footage of what appears to be a cigar-shaped UFO. It's just floating, it's lighting up at certain points, spiraling in every direction, and just actually there, existing. But many say it's hard to tell whether something is close or far away from you in space since you literally have no frame of reference. So you also can't tell how big or small it is. So this cigar could have been bigger than Earth, it could have been smaller than me, who knows? Musa vehemently denied it being space junk because he's seen space junk so many times and this ain't it. And considering he holds the record, I say we trust the man. I say we trust him. Filling our number 3 slot now is the black hole of doom. Ominous, isn't it? And it is. Now 2 years ago, the Hubble Space Telescope found something that could be the death of us all. They found a black hole that can and does devour literally anything in its path. It weighs the equivalent of more than 1 billion suns. It can reach the speed of 5 million miles per hour. But don't worry guys, it's only 8 billion light years away from Earth. Well, that was 2 years ago. I don't know how much closer it is now, but I'm guessing it's closer. It's being manipulated by gravitational waves, which means it's only a matter of time before it breaks free from its own galaxy and just starts roaming the universe free fall. And if that's the case, we can say sayonara to the Milky Way, goodbye Pluto, guess you'll stay the dwarf planet till death, my man. Bye bye. Now at number 2 is galactic cannibalism, as if human cannibalism wasn't bad enough. I mean, clearly not. And also not to be confused with galactic collision. Well, to keep it simple, there are big galaxies out there that are eating smaller ones, and by eating I mean the larger one merges with a smaller galaxy through tidal gravitational interactions. And that doesn't mean the smaller galaxy disappears, the product is actually an irregular galaxy. Well-known galaxy Andromeda actually ate a sister galaxy of the Milky Way 2 billion years ago and is expected to do the same thing with us in 4.5 billion years, but that's all good because I'll be dead by then. And for the people still alive, hopefully we would have developed interplanetary travel by then, or climate change killed us all. There is no in between. I'm not even worried about it. And finally, at number 1 is what really happened. So we know about Neil Armstrong setting foot on the moon and the whole leap for mankind spiel, but that wasn't the full story. According to Maurice Chatelain, the retired chief of NASA Communications System, Armstrong saw things when he got off the spacecraft. Seconds before he stepped down the ladder, he saw 2 massive UFOs hovering above him, and Edwin Aldrin even took pictures of them. Like, we have picture proof. That was followed by 2 minutes of radio silence because one of the television cameras overheated and then and lost reception. So it doesn't just happen to us mere laymen, it happens to NASA as well. That makes me feel better. Now during those 2 minutes, there was a critical lost transmission, and that was Armstrong saying, "These babies were huge, sir, enormous, oh god, you wouldn't believe it, I'm telling you, there are spacecraft out here lined up on the far side of the crater's edge. They're on the moon watching us." And that was never made public. It was never even included in any of the records, and he refused to talk about the incident till his death. Thankfully, enough people had corroborated the evidence and story back then that we do know it is true. I love how this massive part of history has this whole other side to it that we just didn't get told. I'm angry, I'm annoyed, and I wish Neil had told us before because that is shocking behavior from Neil. Shocking. And that's it for today's video, guys. I'm really bummed because this video was a great opportunity for me to wear my NASA shirt and I just blew it. You had one job, Eamon. Either way, let me know what you guys thought of this list below, and as always, I've been your host, Eamon Hassan, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!